What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Final Drive video. Once again from the Sour Cage Production Studios. It is Alec, DeAndre, Javante, and Tony. The final part of our team is here now. We've assembled the stones.
I was literally thinking the same thing with Thanos.
And not kidney stones.
Yes.
Which I've had. Not fun.
My cat had that too.
Huh?
I was like, my cat had that. That's why I was absent for a while.
I have a lot more common with your cat than you.
This is true. This is true.
Welcome, everybody. We have another jam-packed show today, of course. We had something planned originally before, but like the last 2 weeks, some more breaking news drops today from the NFL. Bobby Wagner of the Seattle Seahawks now joins the Los Angeles Rams on a 5-year deal worth $50 million, up to $65 with incentives and whatnot. Once again, the Rams proved to us all that the salary cap, draft picks, it don't matter. They're going to go all in. It looks like, again, next year with Bobby Wagner, with the signing of Allen Robinson, this is a team that still is very much built to win right now, presently. I'll throw it to you guys, whoever wants to take the first stab at it. How do we feel about this Bobby Wagner move?
He should have been a Cowboy. That's my first thought and my only thought. But it is what it is. That's look, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
I like the sign. I think it's good for them, especially losing Von Miller. Picking a guy who's a great tackler, great for the inside also, because that's what they were weak at. Can play coverage, great leadership. You got him and Aaron Donald, and you got Jalen Ramsey, probably the best three when it comes to probably in the NFL, best three on defense, big three. So I like it, I like the move. Smart move. Yeah. Who thought it was coming? I guess we kind of thought it was coming, but the amount of money also, losing Von and going there is a pretty good pickup.
I agree. I think it's a terrific move for the Rams. It gives them that second-level defender that they've been needing for all these years. That captain, that leader in the defense. Because, we look back at this recent playoff series with the Rams, or, their playoff appearance, and Eric Weddle, who they signed off the street. Well, not signed off the street, but signed out of retirement. They actually had him calling the defense.
Green dot?
Yeah. They gave him the green dot. So I think this actually gives them that full leader for that defense. They still do need to replace Von Miller as far as that opposite pass rushing off of Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd, but they can always find a nice value in free agency, but it's rare to find a guy because let's face it, we all didn't expect Bobby Wagner to hit the open market.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pete Carroll.
Yeah, right. So it's rare to find a guy like this on the open market, and the Rams, it just signifies that what they are, that team that they can attract some guys to come there for a very cheaper salary with a chance to win, which, he's still getting paid a really, really good contract, but this is a solid move for them, and especially helps them remain that front runner in that NFC conference.
Especially now the NFC it seems like weaker and weaker day by day. Outside of, Tampa, only because Tom Brady came back, there really is no other front runner in the NFC besides the Rams to challenge them for a Super Bowl spot right now. And I think to Javante's point, you can argue, name the top 5 defensive players in the NFL right now, right? The Rams have 3 of them on the side of the ball. I think Aaron Donald.
They all play at each level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
if you ask the top 3 in each of those, like in corner and linebacking and
They're
number 1 in each of those.
I was going to say,
pretty much,
into the Chargers with Khalil and Bosa and J.C. Jackson or Derwin James, whoever you want to use.
Yeah.
That's probably the only one that's really, I like Bobby White. I think that's a great pickup. Yeah. Great tackler, too. So I think that's great for them. NFC West still going through. I think it goes through L.A. I think the NFC in general goes through L.A.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry about the Cowboys, bro. But think about it. Sunshine. Champions.
I think he's from California, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He played high school ball down there.
Proven coach, Sunshine.
Yeah.
Nice stadium.
We still have Micah Parsons.
Hey, let me ask you this, Tony, because
Tony, I'm just warning you right out there. This has been boiling for the last couple weeks since you've been here.
Yeah, I'm just
the
curious,
criticism is coming right now
because we look at Dallas and how they got rid of Amari Cooper because they didn't want to pay him. We expected, okay, all right, we got rid of Cooper's contract. Let's see what we can get on the free agent market. Have you been impressed with what Dallas has gotten so far in free agency and as far as some of the misses with Randy Gregory losing him to Denver and now Wagner, how does this offseason feel to you?
So this one was a annoying one. This was because it was rumor after rumor. All signs were pointing towards Dallas, and it was just Any day now, the news will drop that he's coming to Dallas. And it was just quite the opposite. And I was like, well, that's annoying. Gregory was interesting because it looked like it was just literally a flip-flop. He was just like, oh, I don't want to. He basically was just like, I don't want to play in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And chose Denver, which, yeah, that was annoying. But, like, people, I don't know where Cowboys fans' heads go when it comes to free agency, but going back to the season, they were bitching and complaining about that last game where he kept going off sides and he was just making bonehead mistakes. Everybody was criticizing Randy Gregory that last part of the season. And then as soon as he made the decision to go to Denver, they were like, oh my God, I can't believe Dallas did this. It's like, well, there was a lot of things, but I mean.
And I think, just to really quick piggyback on what you're saying with Randy Gregory, I think fans felt like Gregory owed the Cowboys, considering how much the Cowboys have stuck out their necks time and time again for Randy Gregory. Like, he should have, taken a discount or whatever, but I mean, he's 20? He's still in his late 20s, right?
He got a bag and got to a contender. I mean, it's a contending team.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's there, they're a contender. I mean, I think also, I don't know. I mean, Tony can speak on more. I think probably the Cowboys, a lot of people look at the team and kind of seeing where are we at? Like, where's that team at? Like, there's a lot of things you're looking at. Okay, if I'm a player like a Bobby Wagner, I'm going towards the end of my career. I want to compete. You know what I mean? Is the Cowboys the best position where I can compete for a championship? I think there's a lot of questions with Mike McCarthy and all that stuff. So I'm just kind of curious
Yeah, and I mean,
how much that hurt them last year, that playoff run.
And I believe, if I'm right, I think it was either the Rams. I think the Ravens came out in the last second and tried to swing a pitch to Bobby Wagner. But, whether it was Bobby Wagner, whether it was Von Miller, I feel like the Cowboys again and again and again were connected to so many of these
Free agents.
Top-tier free agents. And then at the end of the day, you find out the Cowboys put little to no effort in making a pitch.
Well, yeah. Tony, you should feel a little better. I mean, I see Patriots fans all the time on my timeline. I'm at Celtics, so Patriots fans thought they were going to get Bobby Wagner, J.C. Jackson. They were going to keep J.C. Jackson. They thought all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. And they didn't really do any major things that we look at and okay, and Patriots got better.
But Patriots from there, it's like.
They've always had coaching.
Yeah,
they've always can take what they have and make the most of it.
Yeah,
That's not the case with Dallas. It's always we get lucky with some of these players.
And also, Dallas is supposed to look like an attractive, market, whereas New England.
Why? Huh? Why should Dallas look attractive market?
I mean, because it's America's
Dallas.
team. It's like we get the most viewers.
It's like,
we always bring in the most.
I don't think it's America's team, but that's how the world.
I get that. What I'm saying though, at some point,
it's like the Lakers in the NBA, right? Like, I think you ask any kid, whether, back when we were kids or any kid now, who would they want to play for? They go, the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Ask any kid. I mean, most younger guys, when they come up now, people ask them about who did you watch? 10 out of 10, they all say the Cowboys.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. That comparison's a little off because I would compare the Cowboys more like the Knicks. Big market, popular, but the Lakers, I'm not disrespect the Cowboys, but the Lakers have won more recently than the Knicks. The Knicks remind me of a team hey, history, you're just born into it from your parents and stuff like that. And there are teams that's always thinking they can get free agents because it's New York. Who don't want to play here? It's Madison Square Garden. It's the Mecca. And they never can get free agents. That's how I mind the Cowboys more, not the Lakers.
The reason why I say the Patriots aren't as attractive is because you compare the Cowboys to the Knicks. I compare the Patriots to the Spurs, where it's only certain players that want to play there. It's the Patriot way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, who wants to go live in New England, Massachusetts?
Yeah. Hey, I would live there happily.
I mean,
when you go to New England, you have to buy into that culture, or else you're gone.
I mean, with the Cowboys, you have AT&T Stadium. You have the notoriety of the Cowboys. I mean, they're what, the most popular and richest sport franchise.
That ain't the best stadium anymore. We all got Vegas got that. LA got y'all still up there. Y'all top 5 for sure. But we all got stadiums there. Jerry, come on, something else, Jerry.
I'm a
what
firm.
Else you got for me, Jerry?
I have a theory, Tony. I want you to see if you buy into this theory. I believe the Cowboys are sabotaging this year. Strictly to fire Mike McCarthy and say McCarthy was the problem, and then trade away a bunch of picks to get Sean Payton next offseason. That's just what I think is going to happen.
The Cowboys though, because you can't have no control.
It was one of the
Jerry.
No, I get that, but Jerry Jones,
Jerry would give Sean control.
I was like, that's the thing.
Jimmy Johnson was proven.
Well, that was when Jerry was younger. Jerry has known Sean, and Sean has known Jerry for a while. Whenever it was from the 2000s, when Jerry's starting to starting to lose his marbles a little bit.
Wasn't Sean on that Dallas Cowboys team?
Yes. He was part of Parcells, and when Sean left for New Orleans, Jerry had always said that he wishes that he could have convinced Sean to stay because Sean would have been the next guy in line. Yeah. And also, you got to think Jerry Jones is now a guy who, as you said, he's older. not much success since, really, 95.
He's probably
if we're being serious here, not since 95. No serious playoff success. So I think that's the guy who's getting more desperate with age.
Yeah, he's probably
wants to see his team.
I think part of that's still Jerry Jones' stubbornness. Let's be honest, it's part of his stubbornness.
It is.
Why ain't Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor? Like, a lot of it that's a stubborn man. I mean, he's a billionaire. You have to be a little stubborn to be a billionaire, but I think part of it's the problem is just stubbornness. Even though you say he's gotten older and he hasn't won in a long time, he still hasn't made no adjustments to say, like, hey, I'll take a back seat. Let y'all run the team.
Well, also, it's like, Sean Payton, it's a real weird situation because we really haven't seen a coach retire, but then also throw out the idea of coming back to football. Mm-hmm. And nor has it been a coach of Sean Payton's, stature. Because, he's a top 3, top 4 coach in the NFL when he's coaching. Mm-hmm. And that guy has the connections to Jerry and to Dallas, so Jerry thinks he can do whatever it takes to get Sean. And Sean gives him the best chance to win and to fix Dak. Because I think Kellen Moore has killed Dak Prescott.
I don't understand the stigma with, like, Dak is ass. Like,
he's not.
I don't feel
At what point in this season were you like, Dak is no longer good?
He's
not a good quarterback. Tony? Not a good, like...
He had some questionable games. Denver was one.
Okay.
Tony, go ahead, finish it.
No, I'm just saying Denver was one.
Everything after Minnesota, I would say.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the entire offense...
after his injury.
But the entire offense took a dip. Exactly. It wasn't just Dak. And I think
that was my thing.
I think it's Kellen Moore, personally. I think Kellen Moore's a problem because, it's weird because more reports have come out that Kellen Moore was actually a fan of Jason Garrett's offense and that Jason Garrett really wasn't overshadowing Kellen Moore. More of Kellen Moore likes the system Garrett ran, and Mike McCarthy just does not care enough to call plays or to fix his offense. So I think Kellen Moore's the problem. It's not Dak.
I don't think Dak's a bad quarterback. I think when we look at, like, in all sports, all athletes, where are you getting paid? And I think what Dak Prescott's getting paid, when you look at those top quarterback salaries, people look at it and say he's
now.
Huh?
He's number 6 now.
With the new market,
but market resets every year.
This past season, he was like, what, number 3, number 4?
He was number...
But it's not Dak's fault.
So people were looking at, like, okay, Pat Mahomes... Josh Allen, these guys are they're legit star quarterback. They're franchise like stars.
But it's not Dak's fault because I think so.
He got paid. That's Jerry Jones' fault.
We all agree the Joneses should have paid Dak 2 years ago, and Dak's a guy at that point making 27, 28 instead of 40 a year.
Yeah.
But
I don't think Dak's a bad quarterback at all.
No, he's not.
I think though this year will be a rough year because that line, like I said before, Tony wasn't here, but that line has gotten older. I don't think Zeke has it in him no more be what you thought he was going to be. Yeah, elite back, especially what he's getting paid. That's why Zeke looks so bad. Cause like Zeke's getting paid still a nice salary.
Yeah.
So I think when you have those things, I think CeeDee Lamb, I think Amari Cooper being gone is going to hurt things a little bit just because you have to see what Michael Gallup look like when he comes back. Mm-hmm. But they're going to be an interesting team. I think they'll still win the NFC East. They'll possibly win the NFC. I think it's either them or the Philly like usual. Unless Carson Wentz come out.
I think what we look at with the biggest problem that hurt Dallas, especially losing games last year, was the discipline part, right? And we look at some of their losses in free agency. So I think you kind of do take some of them as positives because you lose Randy Gregory, who was
liability.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was with Connor Williams.
Yes.
Although.
Yeah.
Lyle Collins, I don't know if I sent in the group chat, but like now some of these Cowboy fans are remembering Lyle Collins was not perfect. He was far from perfect. Yeah. The fact that I was comparing Steele to Collins last season was a sign saying we should probably start figuring things out for him because I preach this year in, year out. Lyle should be moved back to left guard, and his reluctancy to not do that is what I think ultimately killed him. Like that, Dallas was like,
I'm surprised
we can't do this.
I'm surprised they were so open. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna release him and move on from him. I think they should have held off on that. Probably got more trade value for him.
Well, it's because they publicly announced.
That's what I'm saying. They really messed. That's what I'm saying. They messed themselves up.
I think at the end of the day, it's the Jones. You could say Steven is just as guilty. Like if
they just love being in the limelight.
The day I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but the day Jared Croaks over, we all used to say, oh well, Steven takes over. Steven's football minded, right? Mm-hmm. It's not the case. He's going to be just as bad as Jerry Jones because at the end of the day, he was the one negotiating these contracts. Mm-hmm. Amari Cooper getting paid $20 million a year, and the offense doesn't utilize him. He's not even a top 10 receiver in the NFL. I think you look at Zeke production. Tyron Smith hasn't played a full season in 3 years. It feels like
it's been years. Yeah.
Lyle Collins, you cut him. Dak Prescott, you could argue you should have paid him earlier. Jalen Smith gone. You chose to let Byron Jones walk.
He's You know what? It's the reverse of what Jerry was when he first came in. Jerry would just throw a bag and was like, okay, let's bring. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Like, I want talent here, and it paid off. But like now, it's like quite the opposite, and it's even the results are the opposite. Like we're not paying guys, and now we're not winning games.
Well, I was also asking that. Just ask Tony and everybody. Who's the guy in the front office that's not related to the Jones family in some way?
Will McClay.
Will McClay.
Okay, just curious.
And he's
He's the one I want as GM.
I look at the Lakers, right? I know we're not talking basketball, but the Lakers. I look at that franchise, and when the Buss family had all the family running things, family friends, it was a shit show.
Yeah.
In some way, it still is in a way, just because LeBron's there, he saved a lot of it. But when you have to have some outside sources. So I was curious if they had like outside people that come in besides the family or related or married to all that, just outside people that have team on mind, not family related. You know what I mean? I was curious, so thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, and then all of our drafts have been pretty good. If you look at Dallas's draft history, I know they whiffed on like Taco Charlton, but like all their later round picks have always been like solid, you know, to an extent.
Would you say Van Der Esch was a whiff?
No, okay. His was like nobody knew, like it was injury related.
He had a productive rookie year.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It's like it looked like it was the right move until he started getting hurt, which was like, damn. That was his only knock. And when you were down at the 19th pick, you want immediate talent to like plug and play, and that's what he was.
Yeah. And I think looking forward to, I mean, Dallas, you said what, they have 20 million cap space, correct?
Yeah, they are like number 2 in cap space now.
And I mean, there's still some guys on the market that I think could be solid fits for Dallas. I think Cleveland, they let go of J.C. Treader, starting center, NFLPA president. I think that would be a good fit for Dallas.
So,
Exactly.
let me. What were you about to say?
I got a question. I was going to ask. I know last year the NFC East was like, we call it the NFC League. We made fun of it. How much stronger do you think the NFC East got as a whole? Like, do you think the Cowboys can walk in there and just own the division, or do you think they're going to be with Washington and Philly making them not New York as much?
So, in terms of like head-to-head matchups, they're always going to be nasty games. So I don't see Dallas sweeping like they did this season. Yeah. But in terms of winning games outside their division, I think Dallas is the best team to do it.
Okay.
Because Philly, Nick Sirianni looked terrible last year.
Towards the end, they looked better.
I mean, he got him in the playoffs.
Well, that's because he emphasized the running
sure.
game.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It took him so long to do that. It's like, how long is it going to take for you to realize your weak points and start addressing them during the season? Is it going to take 2 weeks? It's going to be half a season again, you know? It's one of those things.
And Washington.
And that's if you consider...
New uniform, new name.
Yeah, well, Washington, it's only if you consider Carson Wentz that much of an upgrade over Taylor
I think so,
Heineke.
because now you have... I think he had... Well, think about it like this. Okay, I know Carson Wentz has problems, but in Indianapolis, he even have no receivers. You get Scary Terry, you have Curtis Samuel, those some talented receivers.
Okay, but it was... Even when he was in Philly, he was starting to go on that decline. And I think it's his ball handling issue. Like he is he reckless and careless with the ball. He doesn't really care.
Yeah.
And I think it's always because I feel like he's had trust in his like defense. It's like, no, you need to be like, I cannot lose this ball no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I hope Ron Rivera could come in and.
I used to remember the plays he made in Philly where he would throw it deep downfield into double coverage for an interception when he has a running back wide open for a check down on the outside. Mm-hmm. So it's plays like that I don't think Carson Wentz still hasn't fully comprehended.
And you saw Ursay throw him under the. He buried that man a couple days ago.
It didn't work.
He buried Carson Wentz a couple days ago.
I feel like Carson Wentz at his Pete Carson Wentz is better than Pete Heineke. For sure.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like Carson Wentz has the higher floor,
and
higher ceiling than Heineke.
I mean, if you're Washington, I think we had such high expectations for this defense last year, and it was a complete whiff. So if that defense gets better, maybe returns to form of what we saw in 2020, right? Yeah.
2020 season. Yeah.
Then maybe you got something, but
you got some talent. You got some good backs. You got some talent. You got probably one of the top 10 receivers in the league in Terry.
We can all agree the Giants will be last, though.
Yeah, they have not done anything.
That's a whole. I think they need a whole tear down rebuild. Yeah.
No, I think I want to make one point about J.C. Treader, DeAndre, that you brought up. I don't think they would bring him in.
Really?
I don't think so. Because J.C. Treader is the president of the NFL Players Association, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think Jerry Jones, who kind of I feel like really isn't for the PA, wants the president to be the voice of the locker room? And it's kind of be the guy that rallies players. Yeah. I don't think he'd want that.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm going back to the Champagne. Like, y'all talking about he's old, he wants to win, but it's like stuff like that. It's about ego at the end of the day.
But Champagne makes that team
Well,
A
no,
Super Bowl.
For sure. Sean Payton coming in definitely makes him better. I'm
But-
just-
Yeah.
I think in this scenario, Sean Payton hates Goodell just as much as Jerry. And I think that's another mutual ground that they like kind of
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we see eye to eye.
So do you think if Sean Payton came in, I remember watching that Hard Knocks where they taught that. Do you think if Sean Payton comes in, Jerry Jones is cool, like, hey, you stay over there, let me handle this. You stay away, let me take care of this. Or do you think Jerry Jones will still be involved in
I think
all my say? All my say on drafts. All my
I
say on
think
everything.
I think Sean would be the guy to tell Jared to go F off.
And do you think how long do you think that's gonna last for?
If they keep
Sean
winning,
Payton?
if they keep winning, Jerry won't care.
Really, Jimmy Johnson?
won.
Jimmy Johnson was winning.
But
And he
like
said,
like
oh,
Tony
it
like
it
Tony
was
said,
a younger Jerry,
yeah. And he's seen diddly squat since.
Yeah.
He's seen nothing since Jimmy Johnson left.
And that's why I'm saying. But also, Jimmy Johnson should be the. I think Cowboys are cursed till Jimmy Johnson gets put in the Ring of Honor.
I think I think Jerry needs to, and this is the biggest to that. I think the only issue why he isn't there, he wants to be like, oh, I did it without you. Now you can get in. Like,
That's what-
he just wants to prove a point to be like, once I win my own ring, now you'll be in my ring.
and that's what I'm saying. That's the ego thing. That's what I'm saying.
But
That's the ego.
okay,
problem.
but that's a different situation. You know, when it comes to like bringing in like a coach
No,
like Sean
I get
Payton,
that.
he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll do whatever.
Yeah. I guess
now.
Yeah.
he goes older. I'm just curious to see because it's Jerry Jones in there. He's old. Like Robert Kraft's complete opposite. Like I just want to win, keep winning, be good. But it's a risky situation.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Speaking of stubborn old white guys, Bruce Arians retired.
That was weird. I thought that was
was
very,
surprised, too.
very
But
odd.
after the coaching thing, also, it's kind of crazy.
Correction, I should have said pasty old white guys.
I like the Todd
Stubborn.
Bowles like being head coach again. I like that.
I
Todd Bowles-
think he'll do it fine. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles wasn't the problem in the Jets. The
No,
Jets,
no,
are
no.
the Jets, are the Jets, are the
It's
Jets,
the
are the
Jets.
Jets.
Yeah.
And they gave that man Geno Smith and said, "Hey, work with this."
Yeah. I like the hire. I don't think it really changes anything as much. I mean, Johnny talking about yesterday, and you still have Leftwich still calling the plays and doing stuff like that. So
Yeah, and I mean,
I don't think it really changes too much. But
I think we all kind of agree that Tom Brady was the one calling the show offensively.
yeah,
pretty
pretty much.
much.
Yeah.
I mean,
That team is interesting though because I just don't feel that good about Tampa. I know people are like, oh, Tampa's still there.
I've been telling you guys the South is wide open in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because
Well,
Jameis
no,
Winston come back right.
Tampa made some pretty good moves. They retained most of their players. Logan Ryan I thought was a great pickup.
A
at
lot of
safety.
those.
Keeping Chris Godwin was good, but how long
But
you
you-
wait to get him?
Yeah, but you meanwhile you picked up Russell Gage from Atlanta.
Yeah,
Good pickup.
So
It
he
was
can fill
like
in.
they lucked out on some of those guys that were gonna walk and then said, okay,
Tom Brady came
once
back.
Brady's back, they were like, okay, we'll give it another shot. We'll
I
go
just-
safer.
I think the NFC South, though, like we were talking about, Tony was talking about the Dallas Cowboys and playing inside the division. I think they can still run the division for the most part.
There's no
Depending
one in
what
that
happens with
division that can compete.
Depending what happens with the Saints.
No offense to the
No,
Saints,
depends
buddy,
what
but
happens with James Winston. James Winston come back right, maybe.
I still.
Hey, they swept them
I
last
try to use
year.
some respect. I don't hear this.
They swept Tampa
Stop
last
it.
year.
Hey, the Saints can still beat the damn Bucks. I mean, hey.
No, I'm saying, I think as far as
but-
outside the conference, I think that's where Tampa Bay's got their struggles. We got to play like
You
the
mean-
Rams. We got to play teams like that.
That's how the division.
Hold on, but what about the Saints? You don't think they'll struggle?
No, I'm not saying that. I think the
I
said Tampa
want
Bay
to point out for the public, outside of the one playoff loss to Tom Brady, we swept him every other
You
year.
didn't swim when it mattered, though. That's the reason.
That's not the
You
point.
didn't do it when it
And
mattered.
also-
Yeah, Jared Cook don't Jared Cook. Things are
Also,
things are
this.
different.
Will y'all continue to sweep them now that Sean Payton's gone?
Yeah.
Dennis Allen coaches the defense,
No,
right?
DeAndre,
The defense made Brady his bitch.
I wasn't saying like they can't win the division. I think Tampa Bay still is the Cowboys are still the king of the division. I'm talking about when they have to play those out of division games. I wonder how much they're going to struggle when they have to play like the Rams, teams like that.
Oh, it's just really
That's
the
what I'm
Rams.
saying.
I mean, Green Bay. I don't think.
Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Niners. They
Packers are done.
I mean, and to Alex's defense, they played last year, and Saints had their way with Green Bay.
Yeah, that was
Week
a fun
Week
opening
one, though,
weekend.
Yeah.
Week one.
That was a
week
fun
one's
time.
early.
I never
Hey,
thought.
we lost to Tampa week one. You know, and people
But
were like,
we saw good things out of Dallas that week. We saw good things.
Yeah.
We saw AB cooking. That was the only thing though. AB was cooking, but
AB is a weird dude, man.
hey, he's coming back, bro. You see, he said he wants to get paid. You want to get these receivers.
Did you
I've
see-
been
Turkey
saying,
time,
I've
get
been
paid.
campaigning for him to Dallas. I do not care.
You want the shit? You want the clown show?
I don't
You're
care.
like,
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh,
I really don't care.
Now,
Hey, Jerry Jones gonna be happy
Here's
every
my
week.
thing. Here's
We
my
talk
thing with
all the
AB. AB pissed me off because I saw the report today
He still
about
don't get
About his ankle.
about how his ankle. He wants
Yeah.
reassurances from other teams before he goes and gets the ankle surgery. But my thing is the whole fiasco you had on the sideline with Tampa Bay was the fact that you didn't think you were ready to play because you had this ankle injury. So why didn't you get the surgery right when you got cut from Tampa Bay?
He's making music, bro. Hey, out Kanye.
See, that's the
Yo,
problem.
but-
That's the problem.
Hey,
I mean, he's holding himself hostage when you really think about it.
Yeah.
I told DeAndre.
You get the surgery, you can go sign
No
with
team's
somebody.
going to sign you if you haven't had the surgery yet.
Browns.
By week 5, I bet AB's going to somebody's team.
He said he's not getting a surgery until he gets a reassurance from another team. So by week 5, if the Browns have an injury at wide receiver, AB still hasn't had the surgery, you're going to sign AB still?
The Browns will pull the Browns. They'll do it.
That is true. They gave $200 million guaranteed to.
Bro, guys, I'm tired of you saying that he gave $200 million. This is the new. I'm tired of that.
My guy, this is the
What do
problem.
you mean?
No, this is the problem. No player has ever got that much.
DeAndre,
You're going to give it to a guy who is heavily scrutinized, coming back, hasn't played in a year.
Let's talk about okay, hold on. Let's talk about all that. Let's say I get cleared up. 26-year-old top 5 quarterback. You have a problem with that. 26-year-old top 5 quarterback. What do you mean? And this is a new league. Let's be honest. How often does quarterbacks get? John Brady's about to play at what age? I know you got
40. He's already 45.
Tom Brady's 45, about to be 46 years old, still playing quarterback at an elite level. And you're telling me you have a problem with quarterbacks getting guaranteed money? That's going to be the new wave. Kyler Murray was happy.
No.
He's going to get that.
My problem is Deshaun Watson being the first. Deshaun Watson being the guy that sets it off.
Bro, why? Why is that?
Because of everything he has going on with him.
Okay, and to DeAndre's point, we haven't seen him play in a year, and every time we've seen a player take a year off for whatever reason, they have looked bad. I think.
But at what
Le'Veon
age
Bell,
though?
And also you got to think.
But look at Le'Veon Bell. He was on top of the world
But that's a running back. He went to the Jets. He went to a bad team.
Also,
Adam Gates, and he's a running back. We're talking about a quarterback at 26.
But also you got to think he's probably going to miss at least
4 games, maybe
6 to 8 games.
I think he'll
if
4.
If not more, depending on what the NFL does.
And you can still maintain. Jacoby Brissett can keep you in the game. You have Nick Chubb. You still have Nick Chubb. You still have the lineman. You have the
still
defense
a Baker.
still. They're gonna still be able to win games in that time period.
And also, you gotta think from a front office. How does this affect my fans? I paid this man $200 million guaranteed dollars.
That's like saying when Philly got Mike Vick. Like that's how it's always gonna be like that. You're gonna have people that question things. Like I said, winning is the ultimate deodorant. It changes things.
Philly got Mike Vick to be their third string quarterback.
Let's be honest. When you brought Mike Vick in, it still was looking sideways.
But it was a risk. It was a third string quarterback. Nobody thought, oh, okay.
And what happened when they gave Mike Vick $100 million?
Huh?
They gave Mike Vick $100 million?
Yeah, eventually.
After he had that first year.
No, he sat for Philly his first year. His first year in Philly, he sat.
Second year.
Yeah, 09, right?
Yeah. After he got $100 million contract. You don't think people were like, oh, why are you paying this man $100 million? He killed dogs. Or fought dogs.
Yeah, but at that point, he already played. He already got Philly to the playoffs after that.
My point is Deshaun Watson, like I said, winning is the ultimate. Deshaun Watson comes into Cleveland.
But he hasn't won yet. You paid this man now.
Because you know where he is. He's 26 years old, DeAndre. He has can somebody pull up? When was the last time you seen a 26-year-old quarterback be open in the market? It's never happened. He's 26. What do you think Tom Brady? If Tom Brady was 30 and Tom Brady hit the market, what's Tom Brady getting?
That's the thing. But let me ask you this. When Tampa Bay signed Tom Brady, did they give him a fully guaranteed contract?
40 years old.
It doesn't matter. Did they give him a fully guaranteed contract?
No, but he's also 40 years old.
I think the point DeAndre is making here is that I think for a while now when it comes to quarterback deals, we've just now crossed the threshold of in total $200+ million, right? Mm-hmm. In total, not guaranteed, just the total deal with incentives and whatnot. We just crossed that threshold, right? Mm-hmm. And the Browns come out, and this is after Atlanta pretty much looked like they had Deshaun Watson locked up. Yeah. From a fan perspective, to see the Browns come in out of nowhere and throw, $243 million fully guaranteed is just something the NFL has never seen happen before.
But think about it, we're literally in an age where quarterbacks are everything. We just changed the overtime rule to give quarterbacks another chance to win games. Like, the quarterback is everything. We always say, it's a quarterback-driven league. You can't hit the quarterback. You can't do anything to the quarterback. We always say, defense can't do anything, really. It's hard to play defense nowadays. So quarterbacks have to do everything. Or quarterbacks can do everything they want. Don't get hit. So you're going to see more guaranteed contracts. This ain't nothing. I don't think it's going to be nothing new. This is the first. Kyler Murray's going to get done next. Watch, Kyler Murray be the next one to get a guaranteed contract because this is how it's going to be for quarterbacks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now it's set.
But that's how
every quarterback's going to expect it.
But yeah, we've been at that point when it came to quarterback play as far as quarterback being the most important position on the field.
But even Pat Mahomes, his whole deal isn't even guaranteed.
Yeah, but he's also 10-year deal?
But still, it's not fully guaranteed.
Spread out, yeah. But that was set 4 years ago?
And I think I think I see both.
There's a lot going on here.
I do see, yeah.
I'm tired
because it's really absurd because I think to Alex point is we just crossed the 200 million. Nobody thought of that. Then they crossed it saying fully guaranteed, and then they went on
with the baggage.
And then with the baggage, it was just it's quite unheard of. I think DeAndre has a right to scrutinize it, but to Javante's point, he is a quarterback that is in his prime, and we've seen him do spectacular things.
And I think in a position
you
need. And to Javante's other point, I look at Ben Roethlisberger. That's the guy who had the rape thing happen in 2010.
Brett Favre
sent wiener pics, and at the end of the day, those guys won Super Bowls. What do people talk about? It's not the rapes or the wiener pics. It's that they won Super Bowls, which I don't personally. Well, first of all, I hate Brett Favre. Never liked Brett Favre.
Big Ben, so.
And Big Ben's been washed for like the last 3 years.
Yeah, my point is Deshaun Watson.
That's my thing. At the end of the day, if Deshaun Watson wins the Super Bowl, nobody probably
Nobody's going to care. Yeah.
But right now, we have the right to scrutinize.
But my thing is this: Cleveland also came out and said they did their investigation, they did their research before they made a deal.
It's the NFL, Javante.
Does the
NFL care about this, really?
They really don't. They care about
They
the
really
ratings.
don't. They care about winning the ratings.
Honest. Also, you got some fans that are going to feel certain way. You got other fans like, we got Deshaun Watson.
Hold on, but you said that the Browns did their research, but then, what was it, a few days later, or a week later, they had the whole, another investigation into it?
Last week, yeah.
Like
a separate county in Texas filed for charges.
Yes.
It didn't go. It did not go through. But
and then when they asked the Browns about it during the press conference, they didn't know what the fuck.
And you know what another bad look is for the Browns? The owner wasn't there. Jimmy Haslam was not.
They were in a foundation thing. They spoke on it that day. They spoke. I'm trying to do it like that. They spoke that day. Him and his wife both spoke.
They knew what they were doing.
They spoke. They wanted an interview. They spoke about it. They believed in his character.
They went in Zoom.
But also, here I'm gonna say this: time heals all wounds. DeAndre, you just signed a man. Tyreek Hill had a assault, didn't he, for a woman?
Sheesh.
And you just signed a man to the biggest contract of all receiver.
His eyes got so wide.
And he's okay with it. All right, what did Jack last week? Tyreek Hill. So you can't say it. It's like I said. Time heals all wounds. Oh, what are you gonna say now?
Huh?
DeAndre.
What, Javante?
I waved it. Hey, checkmate.
Hey,
I saved the time.
Tyreek Hill.
I saved my Uno card.
Tyreek Hill is proven. It's proven now. Like,
what you mean proven?
what do you mean?
Wait, hold. You talking football? You talking off the field issue?
Well, I'm saying he's been playing since.
Okay, but
So we like
Time heals
when
all.
did that happen?
what? 5-6 years ago?
It
It's
didn't
Right
happen.
before Kareem Hunt. After Kareem Hunt.
It didn't happen right before he came out in the NFL.
Yeah, I thought it was in college.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in college.
Fine.
So that's years later. We're paying the man for that.
Well, I'm saying though, DeAndre.
Every team does. If that's the case, every team did that.
Well, I'm
at
saying
one
time
point.
heals all wounds.
No, but what I'm saying with Deshaun Watson, he's literally this past year he's been facing this whole lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
He's been out of the league, and you're gonna give him guaranteed money. It's unheard of. Nobody has
And let's
ever
also be
done
honest.
that.
You had a bargain. They had a bargain. It's Cleveland. You're fine. You had to do certain things to get a quarterback. Cleveland hasn't had a quarterback. We joke about Cleveland never having a quarterback. This is the first time they have a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Derek Anderson was a Pro Bowler.
Okay, this is a legit Pro Bowl quarterback that you know who he
I was
is.
like,
This is legit.
I don't know who that is off the top of my head.
07.
The only one I can think of is
Elite.
I can't think of anybody. Bertie Kosar and
Colt McCoy.
Look at this. Look what I'm naming.
And also,
who's a backup?
And also, wasn't Tyreek?
You can't start.
Also, wasn't Tyreek Hill's charges dropped?
I believe. Actually, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I look at Kareem Hunt back in the league. Joe Mixon. There's a lot of guys you name that had issues off the field, but we forgive with time.
Even when Kareem Hunt came back, what did the Browns give him? They gave him a cheap ass contract.
He's a running back.
When
You're talking about a running back compared to a quarterback. What's up, DeAndre? What quarterback?
Even Michael Vick, when Michael Vick came out, did Michael Vick
I mean,
come out?
here's just to give you an idea. Kenneth has pulled up
Thank you.
the quarterback contracts and the most guaranteed money, right? So we see Josh Allen got his extension. What last year?
Yeah, before the last.
Yeah.
So 150 million, right?
last
I believe that's what that says. Kind of blind.
It says
Give me a thumbs up. 150, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, who just got his new extension, 150.6. Look at the gap between Rodgers and Watson. That's
$100
unheard of.
But we're talking about a franchise that hasn't had no quarter. They can't get lucky. They've had bad luck their whole time. They had to go extra out because they needed the help.
Yeah, they had Colt
We've
McCoy.
seen franchises do this before.
But
We've seen franchises take chances on guys
this is
because
what
they need it.
This is what I'm getting from you, though. So, I could have O.J. Simpson come back.
Oh, my
O.J.
Jesus.
Simpson come back, play. We know O.J. did it. Let's be honest.
He
We all
can't,
know.
no, actually, OJ came off innocent, so you wouldn't be able to say that.
but-
You can't use that in your case.
But hold on.
He came off
but
innocent.
come on, we know the money.
But you can't use that.
Okay,
the
either
court
way,
of law say he was innocent.
Either
so you
way,
can't say
okay, either way. OJ's 26. Let's say OJ's 26 in his prime.
In the 80s?
Huh?
70s, 80s? In the
I'm talking about.
No, there's running back age. You gotta go back to when there's no running backs. When running backs were the most popular position.
Okay, fine. Yes, let's go back to that age. OJ's in his prime, a free agent. You telling me when OJ gets right back into the league. I'm giving him a fully guaranteed contract after everything he's been through.
If I'm a team that's desperate that hasn't won and I need a player.
But that's what I'm saying. So it speaks to how desperate you are as a team.
John, you guys signed. How many players did the Dolphins sign? You like, bro? Why the hell we signed him? We did not need to give that much money.
Who are you talking about?
Trying to think who y'all signed. Mike Wall's got a nice little contract from y'all.
Sure,
Connor
that's
Williams
everybody.
didn't need a contract at all.
Who?
Connor Williams.
He did. He really did.
You signed Jay Cutler for a year for $16 million just to play half a season.
Yeah.
Why? Desperate.
Adam Gase.
One, Adam
Josh
Gase. He was
Rosen.
Desperate also.
Adam Gase was familiar with Jay Cutler because they played together. We needed a quarterback because Tannehill tore his ACL in training camp.
Yeah, we can go to every team. Every team does things that are desperate because, it's a desperate franchise.
I'm signing Jay Cutler because Jay Cutler is, he's a mixed bag as far as quarterback results.
Right.
But we're talking about signing a guy because his play style on the field versus the guy who has off the field scrutiny.
True. I mean, you're going to have that regard. Okay, so you're trying to tell me is any team that would got Deshaun Watson would have scrutiny from some fans. That's just how it is. Some fan base is going to be mad.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's already getting Deshaun Watson is scrutinizing for any.
But if I'm an organization, I don't care about that.
But hold on.
Well, that's just the NFL in
I
general.
don't care. I'm trying to win.
But what I'm saying is, yes, I've seen teams do that. Teams are desperate. They'll sign a guy because, at the end of the day, we want to win. Mm-hmm. I get that. But it's another thing to give this man a fully guaranteed contract.
Okay, now let's not forget also
This
man had a no trade clause. You had to sell him on something to be able to give him not to sign his no trade clause. It wasn't like he was just a free agent. He said, or he was just getting traded automatically. He said, let's give him a new deal. They had to sweeten the pot to be able to get him from Atlanta.
It's quite a pot right there.
The owner came out and said like he didn't. They wanted his on his 4-year deal. He still had the 4 years he had remaining, whatever it is. Cleveland said we'll give him a whole new deal. That's what you had to sell him on something. He had a no trade clause as a quarterback. You had to sell him. You had to do extra when somebody has no trade clause, but you got to do extra to get that man to your franchise.
It's true.
That's how it goes. I mean, I'm not saying what he did was right. If he did it, if he didn't do it, we know. I'm just saying the fan base. You're gonna have some people gonna scrutinize the man forever. Same with Zeke when he went through his thing. Some people gonna be hating that stuff. Some people gonna be like, "Hey, we win in games. We win the Super Bowl. If the Browns win the Super Bowl next year, I'm not saying they will, they won't. If the Browns win the Super Bowl next year, how many fans gonna be there street celebrating?
Probably a lot.
Going crazy.
It's the NFL.
It's how the NFL. I mean, it's business. This ain't just the NFL. It's business in general. If you're good at something, people gonna pay you what you're worth, no matter what you've done in the past. Even if it's wrong, and you're found innocent of something or whatever, they're gonna pay you what you're worth. This is how the business works. Robert Kraft, he still got his.
Sheesh.
Dan Snyder's still in office. I didn't see nobody got rid of him.
Yeah, that's what I was like I
Dan
find
Snyder.
insane. I'm like, what?
Jerry Jones.
We pick it. Hey, I'm saying.
I'm cool with that one. You can say that another like 5 times.
I'm sorry I got with that rant, but DeAndre.
I mean, like Tony said, I think people see both sides of the argument.
That's normal.
There's two. I can see both sides.
But
pretty
like
reasonably.
morally and like I
Ethically.
guess like in terms of like seeing it, like it's an instance like why. It's always why. And then like and if you bring in a narrative and be like, okay, well, if this is the organization and this is what they're lacking, this is what they need, it makes sense. But it's still like it is wild to just give fully guaranteed for a quarterback that's sat out a year and has all this baggage.
Desperate team, 26. But also this the new situation, right? We've never seen this before.
Exactly.
We've never seen a quarterback at 26 be available. That's a good quarterback. That's actually a legit good quarterback. Not a Colt McCoy, not no guy, not a Tyler.
Hey, why you do my boy like that?
Not a Heineke. None of these guys.
bringing him up.
Yeah, not a Heineke. None of these guys. We're talking about actual star quarterback. Deshaun Watson, legit.
I mean, you can see both sides of the coin.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I think, however you view it, I mean, it's your own personal beliefs.
I mean, think about it. The Cleveland Browns. Last problem to make. The Cleveland Browns were literally a team that we said for the last couple of years. They're a piece away. If Baker can become the guy, they're contenders. Now you know you have a guy. That team is legit. Running game, receiving core probably need. Well, you got Coop, but you probably need to get another receiver. Defense is stacked. That's a team that can compete right away.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, they're a championship contender. They're probably, to me, they're my favorite for the AFC North.
Yeah, I was like in the North, they're
I
definitely like
think they're the favorite. I think they're the best quarterback in the North.
Joe
They have the best running
Shiesty.
back. Best
Joe-
two running backs.
you
That's
forgetting
fair.
Lamar Jackson, the running backs.
I mean, I think Cooper's can play, bro. Cooper can play. I think with Deshaun Watson.
My only issue with Amari Cooper is that, and I think this was another thing that Dallas didn't like, was his inability to stay on the field. He
That is true.
gets hurt. He gets, and
Especially
like
up
it might be
north.
just a week,
And
but
his
it's a
aunt-
week every After every 4 weeks, he's going to be
outdoors.
down.
And he's anti-vax.
Then that was a big kicker. That was a big issue. But now since NFL is like on the
They've abolished all the
saying, like,
COVID protocols.
nothing's real.
Sean Watson, Baker Mayfield. It's up. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
Look at that arm of Baker.
Sheesh.
Hey, you heard Odell Beckham say he's thinking about coming back.
He's open
That
to
tells you something. That tells you everything you need to know right there.
Hey, Odell, come to Dallas.
Now, what if Odell? What if you bring Odell and Jarvis back to Cleveland with Amari Cooper
That would be something.
and Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Njoku still there? I think
That
it's
was weird when they.
I don't like
keeping.
Njoku.
No, didn't they let Jarvis go?
Yeah.
They let Jarvis and
But
Austin.
Yeah.
when they kept Njoku,
Well, it's because they let Austin.
They let
Did
Hooper
y'all watch
go.
the Did
That
Cleveland
makes
Brown press conference? Did y'all watch the press conference?
The Watson one?
Yeah. You can see Kevin
That's-
Stefanski had a little spot. He's like, I finally got a quarterback actually open the offense. It's like Sean McVay. Sean McVay said, hey, I could have won the Super Bowl. Everybody else did well. We just couldn't. Jared Goff can make the read. He can make the throws. Now you got a guy like Deshaun Watson, Kevin Stefanski like, oh.
That's why Goff started Hard Knocks 3 times now, sir.
that's insane.
Hey, that is kind of crazy. You know, I'm waiting for that mid-season one. Detroit, you know.
We'll talk about the
mid-season.
Lions here in a minute, but you mentioned something earlier, Javante, that changed within the NFL. They have now announced they're changing overtime rules in the playoffs to where both teams will get a possession. The rules in regular season stay the same, so ties can still happen. How do we feel about that? Because I think people think Josh Allen
You didn't need it.
should have gotten a chance at the end of that the Bills game.
Would have, should have. It doesn't really matter.
It's still flawed. People don't still make complaints.
Yeah.
Because my biggest complaint is this is gonna bleed into the regular season, and that's my biggest worry. Do I hate it?
Well, now
It's
even,
just kind of
It'd
like
be more
I don't-
entertaining nonetheless.
well, Tony, even at this though. Well, go ahead. Make your
I was
point.
like, I'm glad it's only in the playoffs. Like, at least you're limiting it. So I like the regular season. It can end in a tie. The overtime, it ends when it ends, so I don't have to endure more. But like playoffs, it makes sense because when we saw the Kansas City game, it looked like it could have gone on for another 3 hours, and like everybody would have been happy with it.
Yeah.
But and I guess another reason why I like it's in the playoffs is that, or one reason that I don't like that it's in the playoffs, I guess you could say, is that these players are going to start getting hurt. They're going to start their stamina is going to start going down. They're going to get it's going to be aggressive on their bodies. So they're going to have to work on that. 'Cause it's going to be
and then also
it's
what
really straining.
what happens if both teams score a touchdown?
it's just going to keep going.
And also think about it, now it's not like you usually want the ball for. Now I want the ball second because if you punt the ball, I know what I got to do. Or if
Field possession. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, it's always been like that. But my
no, you usually want the ball first in overtime.
huh?
You always want the ball first in overtime.
Well, of course.
Usually, now you want it second. I don't want it first. I want to play defense first and know what I got to get.
Yeah.
Go from there. If
But
you punt,
here's my thing with that is it's basically the same thing because
It only
let's say-
changes if you score a touchdown.
Yeah, let's say both teams score. Then guess what? The team that won the coin toss in overtime that had the possession first is going to be the first team to get the chance in sudden death. You know,
Yeah.
unless sudden death is decided by a coin flip.
and my other problem with this rule is, look, I played defense in high school. This is professional. This is pro football, bro. Like, I know we were talking about the quarterback, the Deshaun Watson thing. This is why I made my point about Deshaun Watson and the quarterback being the most important thing. But this is professionals, bro. If you can't stop somebody, you don't deserve to win. The Buffalo Bills did not deserve to win that game. Let's be honest. You couldn't hold one stop. You couldn't get one stop.
With what, 13
13
seconds
seconds left. You don't deserve to win the game.
And
you're a professional.
you don't script the ball. You
Yes.
kick it in the end zone for a touchback.
Let's
and
be honest. Did
no
they
time
deserve,
runs
did
off.
they deserve to win the game?
No.
You deserve to play. You deserve to lose. You didn't play defense. This is professional sports. This is football. It's not like any other sport. This is why football's amazing to people. And I like it too. Everybody plays a part. Special teams, defense, offense. If you can't play your part, just like Green Bay with the special teams, you don't deserve to win. It's a team game. We talk about this as a team sport, team game. We're basically saying, oh, it's an offensive game. Defense don't matter, special team don't matter, it's an offensive game. And I don't like that either because I feel it takes away from the defensive side of the ball. This is pro sports. It's professional football.
Yeah, I don't like
Play
the rule
defense.
either. I feel like Buffalo came into the playoffs with what top 10 ranked defense. You can't tell me that you couldn't stop the Chiefs on one out of those four. What was it? Four because they scored like 4 consecutive possessions.
And it
right?
was the how you didn't stop. It was the simple you gotta stop Tyreek Hill, you gotta stop Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And that's
They
literally
don't
all
want
they
to.
went
They don't
to.
want to run the ball. They don't want to run the ball.
You had three straight possessions. You could have stopped them. Gave the ball back to your offense. They could have drained the rest of the clock for the rest of the fourth quarter.
Exactly. They didn't deserve to win the game.
And then, let it be that you score a touchdown. You have 13 seconds remaining. You can't stop them One time.
Mm-hmm.
13 seconds.
Exactly.
I mean,
And you
it's
like
all
to kick
coaching
the
too, because McDermott should have known with 13 at that point, 13 seconds timeouts don't matter because
Yes.
you're only going to get so many plays off in
Like, you're
13
gonna only
seconds.
get like 2 to 3 plays.
Squib the
max.
ball, take it down to 9-8 seconds.
Yep.
At most, you're going to get at most 2 plays.
Exactly.
And my thing is, what I did not get anything like from Sean McDermott's play calling. Why the hell are you rushing 4? Why don't you rush 3, drop back 3 in the middle of the field, and then drop the rest back?
And that's why I go to my thing. You don't deserve to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fact. It's all assets of the game which make football amazing. It's
Yeah.
all assets have to be on point to be a win. Cincinnati did in the playoffs. They had how did they beat Chiefs? Defensive stop.
Exactly. They
Gotta
just
make
made
stops.
the crucial play when they had to.
Exactly. I'm not saying to have a defense that's a stop. But we also about the Cowboys. Bend but don't break. I need you at certain moments to give me the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my problem. I feel like now, I know people love the shootout. We love the Rams Chiefs shootout a couple years ago. That's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we're watering the game. We're basically saying, okay, offense is all that matters. Defense don't matter. You know what I mean? I don't like that either. I feel it's not
Who can
fun
get the
game.
highest scores?
Exactly.
Like,
I don't like that for football. I feel like
Yeah.
football should not be playing 60 points, bro. I don't want to see quarterbacks just shooting out. I get the casual fan excited by that, but I want to play some defense.
Us
bro.
analytical-
I want to see a stop.
Yeah.
We look at the game, we're like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
So I guess we're on agrees and the new overtime rules boo-boo.
It's not like
It'll make
terrible.
it'll
I
make it
get
exciting. It'll
Yeah,
make
like-
it more dramatic in the playoffs.
I bet people are still make complaints about this rule.
It's
Watch.
not- it's
They're going to
not-
still think it's flawed.
It's not a terrible rule, but the previous rule, it was,
It was
fine.
fine.
There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, like I didn't think it should have been like especially because it was pretty new. Like this
Yeah.
was like I feel like we all saw this rule get implemented
Yeah.
like at least at
3,
like,
4 years ago. I believe.
exactly. It was just like, oh, we're gonna change it again. Like we didn't even get to like fully live out this life.
Let me ask you a question. How would you feel about this? I'm not with the rule change either. I'm just saying. I feel like this is a little more fair for everybody. You get the ball at the 50, maybe the other opposite 45. You get in the end zone, you got to go for 2. Both teams get possession. What do you think?
So it comes down to a 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
Ideally.
and you got to get in the end zone also. You got to score first.
You gotta
That's opposite
score,
45.
and then you gotta get the 2.
So I'm getting you at opposite
But
45.
then all the pressure really is on the 2-point conversion play.
Well, I think that's what the Titans they.
That was the
That's,
ask.
I think
Kind
that's what they
of
asked.
like
They were- they were
college.
trying to do.
But like more, because college, I think the overtime rule is pretty fair. But I want to make it further out because it's professional. I don't want
Yeah, like I feel like what is it usually at
the
the
25, 30.
25,
Yeah.
30?
A little bit easier.
Yeah.
But they do the whole 2-point conversion thing now too, because
Yeah.
bro. So I think you put the opposite 45,
Well, they do it after I think what the
Third period, yeah.
overtime,
opposite 45. Hey, bro, you gotta go for 2. You don't get it, game over. The other team win. If y'all, I mean, you know what I mean, that's how I think you should do it.
I like it.
If you want something that's more like still emphasizes defense, still gotta get a stop.
yeah.
At some point, you got to touch up. You got to 2-point conversion.
And then it's whatever your best 2-point play is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. But like you understand, I feel like no matter what people are complaining about, they'll find a way. And as you
Exactly.
said, Tony, I fear it might eventually bleed into the regular season,
Right.
where people will complain.
Because we're gonna get a matchup during the season with Mahomes and Josh Allen, and it'll have a very similar outcome. It'll be like, oh, Mahomes didn't even get the chance, or Josh Allen didn't get a chance again. And it's like,
Yeah,
well, you should probably invest in defense.
Exactly.
You should invest
This
in someone to
is
stop
a
them.
team game. There's 3 aspects to the game.
Although I
Yeah.
hate ties. I
I hate ties too, but
I like them. I like how stupid they are.
Good
I love
chaos.
them. It's like, damn, y'all suck.
I hate when
I
they put
hate-
the end though.
I hate seeing it I hate seeing it
I
on the
love it.
record. I
love it. It's
I like
so,
it.
like it's a blemish, and that's what I like. It's
I wish-
like it's worse than a loss in my opinion. I'm like, oh, you
No,
couldn't
no,
even
some
win
teams
that
deserve
one.
that time.
I
Some
wish
teams
it-
be so bad they deserve
That is
the
true.
time.
I wish there was like tied games where like after let's say they end the overtime. I wish they just went like soccer. They had like penalty kicks. Like you just had your team line up for a field goal.
Do
your team
one-on-ones.
goes
Like,
One-on-ones,
whoever
one-on-ones.
gets, you know,
It's your best team.
Whoever misses first, that's who loses.
I think
dig
any
that.
way you do it, somebody's gonna find a problem with it, but it is what it is. I just want to see defense be able to still have an impact in the game. That's all.
let's go over some of the latest other news around the NFL before we kick it to Dre and Jay. The Ravens announced they've extended John Harbaugh to a 3-year deal. The Saints signed Andy Dalton to be their backup quarterback after moving Taysom Hill to tight end full time.
That is gross. So,
Thank God.
how do you like the Andy Dalton move?
I think Dalton's one of the better backups to have in the NFL. What? He's a guy who has played numerous games under his belt. He can play in a
Dalton
pinch.
still seems as a backup though.
I was just like, do you remember? Do I have to bring back the 2020 season whenever he was asked to be the guy whenever Dak went down?
Also, wasn't that the year the offensive line fell apart, though?
Hey,
Well, I also look at like a guy like Dak Prescott was established. But
look at him in Chicago last year. He wasn't good.
I think we look at Jameis though. Andy Dalton might be able
And
to come in.
Fields did any better last year?
Okay, but
the
Justin
Bears.
Fields still was like the fact that Justin Fields was still better.
It's a Matt Nagy team.
Well, now it's not.
Now it's not. But Dalton's a fine backup to have. He's one of the better backups.
The question is he coming in as a backup though?
No,
Like-
Jameis is the starter.
well, no, match this though. With Dak Prescott, you knew Dak Prescott's like Justin Fields. He's gonna be the guy. With Jameis Winston, it's kind of like he's still trying to prove himself as.
I think
franchise
Jameis did
quarterback.
enough last year to prove.
And this
himself.
is my thing. It has nothing to do with James Winston. I think
Yeah.
skill. Winston definitely has the.
Oh,
edge
yeah,
as
I
well.
agree, I agree
There you
completely.
go.
He's been in the offense for a couple years. He knows the system.
And I think he can throw a damn good deep ball.
Yeah, Jameis is the guy.
But
they needed a backup with moving Taysom to tight end full time.
But like, is Winston durability a question? I think now he's starting. I wouldn't say getting up there in age.
That's the
but
only.
I mean, he's taken a lot of hits when it came to Tampa already, and now in New Orleans, he's already got that major injury.
I think as far as questions about Jameis's play, that is the one question is the injury
And that's
and how then is it going to hold up.
And that's what I go back to. Like, okay, now think about Andy Dalton starting. That's because that's my issue. Is Winston might be a little shaky coming back.
That's fair.
Are you concerned about Andy Dalton playing? If he's asked to play, let's say the last quarter of the season.
I feel a lot better about him than Ian Book
Fair enough.
or Taysom Hill for that matter.
Before we go to Dre and Jay, I just one more thing. 'Cause I know we're talking about Cowboys and the Patriots losers. Let's also put the Niners were losers this offseason also. Not being able to move Jimmy G for anything.
And I was going to bring that up right before we
They
go.
gotta be losers also.
So I mean, real quick, other news: Malcolm Jenkins retired. The Rooney Rule will now require women to be interviewed as well for coaches and front office jobs. Thumbs up.
Let's see how it works.
Detroit will host the 2024 NFL Draft and Hard Knocks. So
Nice. First pick again, 2024. First
that's
pick.
not nice.
Hey, if I
That's
told
not
you,
nice.
I'm not a betting man, but I think Detroit will be top 5 in 2024. We're talking about them still top 5 pick.
So
Well, huh?
what?
You said Detroit's gonna be a top.
5 pick, like they're gonna pick at the top 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you think
I
I
mean-
was saying?
No, but
Hey, you never know.
hold on, man.
hey, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl
you
this
gotta
year.
give Detroit some credit, bro. I think they're gonna be talented.
The
next year.
Dan Campbell's-
Like I
Dan
said,
Campbell's building-
It's Detroit, bro. It's Detroit. It's just what they are.
I don't know. I feel like they're different.
Yeah,
they're-
we
I
always
want to interject. Have y'all seen Dan Campbell's Starbucks order?
nah.
He gets 2 venti, just black coffees, and then puts a shot of espresso in each of them and drinks both of those for breakfast.
that makes sense.
And I was
Hey.
like, you know what? I can get behind.
I need to see
I want him as my coach.
See,
I
Dan
need to see.
Campbell-
I need to see that on Hard Knocks.
I want to see it. I need to
Probably
see
will.
it.
Okay. See him at the
He's
Senior Bowl.
wired,
He
dude.
sold
He's
me.
in.
I watched him do his press. I literally sat there just amazed, like, oh, I'm sold. But it's not him.
He is infectious,
Yes,
dude.
it's not him. It's the Lions. I don't blame. I'm not down at him. It's the Detroit Lions.
We'll see what
this
happens.
French is just known for.
They just need blow up everything except for Dan Campbell. Leave him there.
Well, I feel like the roster is starting to take shape. I mean,
It's,
look,
I do see that. It's starting to have some kind of form, but again, it's still funky.
It's
like,
young.
We thought the same thing. They had Jim Caldwell, and then what happened?
Jim Caldwell went 10-6.
And then
he
what
got fired.
did Detroit do?
They
No,
fired him.
they
Yeah,
brought in-
exactly.
they brought in a
That's
goofball.
Detroit organization. That's what I'm saying. The organization's all. It's not from the coaching of the players. Organization is messed
But
up.
I think,
That's a fair point.
but I think in Dan Campbell's, he is such a character that I don't know if they could even part ways. At least,
Yeah,
it would
for-
take a lot to get rid of him.
Like, I'm gonna place this wager down now. I don't think Detroit is gonna land outside the top 5 in draft pick this
In
year.
2024,
Yes, and
that's a long way away. We got a couple
2020. You
years.
talking about 2024?
Yeah, he was saying
He's talking
24.
about the
He thought he
Detroit
was
draft, the actual year they hosted.
Oh, you talking about when they hosted?
Yeah, they hosted
Yeah,
draft
I
in
thought- I
2024.
I thought you meant for next year. I was about to say, okay, no.
Oh, next year I might be willing to take top 5 there, top 6.
They're gonna be a better team next year.
Really?
I think 6
No.
wins.
I still think Minnesota's better in the division. I still think Green Bay's better. I think Chicago's gonna be better.
We'll see about Green
I don't
Bay.
know about Minnesota.
I mean,
because-
Minnesota has a talent. They still have Dalvin Cook. They still have Justin Jefferson. They still got talent. They got Darius Smith now. Great pickup. I mean, they got
we
talent.
talked about Detroit needing a receiver. They picked up DJ Chark. Great
Lee
pickup.
Chuck's still a project. That's a project receiver. But yeah,
I mean, he
No,
was
he's
a
not. He's
Pro
a
Bowl 2
proven.
years ago.
I
but-
think it's goes on the
Coming off the injury, he's a
and
question mark.
What
But
sucks is that this draft is like one of the weakest when it comes to quarterbacks. Like, it's
Oh,
one
yeah.
that I'm like, I don't really.
so you're almost
so
kind of
you're forced to go with Jared Goff.
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
or Baker Mayfield's out there. Why don't you go trade for Baker? Baker Mayfield has your coach's type of heart. Well, he had,
But
he
it's
lost that heart. but
I feel like Dan Campbell can give a player heart, but he can't give him talent, and that's the issue with Jared Goff. Like Jared Goff, I think it plays his heart out when he plays in Detroit. But he does not know what he's doing.
Tony, do you think Baker Mayfield, when he first really he had the spunk, he had that stern thing about him, similar to Dan Campbell? Do you think if he went with Dan Campbell, you think they could make something special? I'm sure he had the mindset like, we.
I think it'd be interesting. I think they could win some games, but ultimately they couldn't get over like a certain.
So you don't think Baker Mayfield even gets you over?
No.
I mean,
and especially it's because
at least 6 wins.
No, yeah, they could get 6 wins.
Okay, 6 wins.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good season for Detroit, right?
At that point, you're better off just keeping Goff and not causing the headache.
And that's the thing is like you don't have to spend money to get Baker.
Yeah.
Or to like.
That's the interesting thing. I think Baker Mayfield's gonna get released. I'm saying it now. If we come to the show next week, we have that Baker Mayfield's gonna be released. He will not be traded for. He will be released.
It's gonna be interesting what happens with
First
Baker.
overall pick ever be released.
If I'm Baker Mayfield, I think he might.
He's probably gonna end up playing games this year.
He's not playing.
I think
If Deshaun Watson gets suspended.
Look, Jacoby.
I think he's gonna be
They
a
knew they
backup.
were keeping him.
I think Baker's
I
gonna be a
forgot.
backup.
I low-key forgot about Jacoby. That's on me.
I'll say 2 teams.
They're gonna be back up where?
2 teams. I'll say Tennessee.
Oh,
Kind of that similar situation. Ryan Tannehill, when he got over there, Marcus Mariota was the starter. Tannehill's been shaky.
They're the same kind of player, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Tannehill and
either-
Baker Mayfield are the
either
same
way.
guy.
Yeah, but
I
Baker.
think Tannehill's a little bit of a.
And he's
He's a little bit more conservative.
He's a little more healthier,
Let
too.
me
I
ask-
can rely on
that's
that.
like-
Baker Mayfield.
let me-
beat up.
He's
ask-
smarter than Baker.
Let me ask y'all this though: which one has the higher ceiling?
I think
Mayfield
Baker.
or-
Baker.
does, that
Okay,
in
but
your
the thing also is
defense.
just like this. If he go wherever he goes, he's gonna want to play.
But also hear me out. He might do this one. What if he's a backup in Tampa Bay?
no.
City year,
No.
Brady.
I would understand.
We saw that. Remember that Super Bowl 50 commercial where you saw Brady giving Baker the reins and telling him, "Hey,
That
hold
was-
on
yeah.
to these." Like passing the
But
passing
DeAndre,
of
the
torch.
thing is, we gotta remember also Baker Mayfield's trying to get a bag. He ain't got paid yet.
I don't think he.
If he sits
I don't
behind
think
anybody,
Baker is gonna be on I honestly don't think he's in it for the money. I think he is now like trying to prove something.
say he's in the league. But I'm
That's what I'm
saying,
saying, if you want to prove something, why don't you
But if you're-
learn from the best? Learn from not the best. Learn from the
but-
goats.
Look at Jameis.
I'm finna get on you.
Jameis is a prime example of that.
James Winston had talent though. He wasn't. We knew James Winston could play. It was just a matter of turning the ball over. We knew he could play. Dude, for what 30 touchdowns?
Yeah.
You got mad about Pittsburgh getting Mitch Trubisky. Talking about Mr. Trubisky. He wouldn't be a backup for a year. And now
He was
get
a
an opportunity-
backup to Josh Allen. Hold on. Let's say this. Josh Allen ain't the GOAT. Josh Allen ain't Tom Brady.
No, he's not.
There's
He's top
levels
three
to this.
top
There's-
five quarterback.
But no. But I'm talking about all time. Is Josh Allen top 3 quarterback of all time?
No, he's top.
No, exactly. Also, hear me out. We don't know what Josh Allen's going to look like without Brian Dable as offensive coordinator because we look at Josh Allen his first year in Buffalo, shaky. He turned the ball over a lot. It wasn't until he got Stephon Diggs, he got a proven offensive coordinator in Brian Dable coaching him, and now he's the quarterback he is.
No, my thing is, you thought Pittsburgh getting Mitch Trubisky was a bad move, even though he sat a year, top pick, had some talent, sat a year behind a Pro Bowl quarterback. Now you don't think he can do the job either?
But dog,
it's Baker.
but let me ask
same
you.
thing.
But let me ask you this: how much can Josh Allen really teach you compared to Tom Brady?
Tom Brady's not there to teach you. Tom Brady's gonna win. He's trying to win for him. He's trying to win.
You don't think Tom Brady don't pass?
Did he teach my man Josh Rosen? Josh Rosen ain't in the league right now, is he? Did he teach
Atlanta.
Josh Rosen anything? Josh
Falcons.
Rosen learn anything? Because Josh Rosen ain't get no job.
Come on, they two different people.
Bro, Baker Mayfield, like Tony said, like they said, first off, he has to show he can still play in the league. So he needs somewhere he can go play. Then he still wants to get a contract. Baker Mayfield on last year's deal. You think he wants to sit somewhere for a backup for Tom Brady? There's no way you're taking his job. There's no hope for that. You're gonna sit the whole year.
That's the point. But you're sitting, and then when Tom Brady retires, Tampa Bay's gonna be in a position where Baker's gonna be the guy for this team because let's face it, Tampa Bay won't
in
have
2 years. We don't know Tom Brady's retiring.
Huh?
We don't know when Tom Brady's
He
retiring.
retired this year,
And
You
he
don't think-
came back.
You don't think he might retire next year?
He might come back again. And I'm saying you gotta pay Baker Mayfield. If at that point, I'd rather just go in a rebuild mode and say, hey, let's just go and start go find the guy and scratch.
This is but in DeAndre's defense, if he comes in as a backup, you only have to pay him as a backup. You don't have to pay him.
Yeah,
as a starter.
he's-
And if someone's willing to pay for that, and it's like, okay, then that's
your
how
loss.
the cookie crumbles. And
Yeah.
if we still have Tom Brady, we still have Tom Brady at least,
I get that.
It's
I get
tree.
that. It's a man. It's interesting where.
And the only the reason
Hey,
I like that
Cowboys.
situation,
Cowboys.
no,
You want the controversy? Don't take no chances.
Dak is fine. No, what would really help him is that a year to just get healthy because I think he is severely banged up. He played
through a lot last year.
for no reason. I wouldn't say for no reason, but there was no real reason. I think it was for his pride. It was just like
And
that
to,
was
pro-
really
and
stupid.
to prove something. 'Cause I think Baker felt going into this year, he still had to prove something.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you need to get healthy. I think Cleveland would have benefited more if you had got like sat out the time that you needed to sit out.
Let Case Keenum run the ship.
Yeah, like just for like that initial time, and then you could have came back as a better quarterback.
I agree to it, and that's why I think he needs to go somewhere where there's no expectations. Like, cause think about it, the reason why we had so much expectations, because that team was so talented. Jarvis, Odell Beckham, the defense, it was a talented team. We expect you to win. Send them to Atlanta. They're gonna be a shit show for a couple of years. You can just play your game, be low key on the radar. Nobody be talking about you. I think that's the kind of situation he needs. You know what I mean? If he's gonna play somewhere or want to play somewhere,
Yeah.
at least next year, at least it's gonna be interesting to see. I think he gets released though. It's gonna be interesting.
It is interesting.
And I think I'm calling. I got a lot of predictions, guy. I'm like a fortune teller.
I'm gonna say
Stephon Diggs will get traded. Debo Samuel will get traded.
To Dallas?
Stephon Diggs to Dallas for his brother. Stephon Diggs is getting traded. Debo's getting traded.
None of them are getting traded.
You think these teams are gonna be paying these receivers?
49ers are gonna pay Debo.
Okay, you think Stephon Diggs will get paid by Buffalo?
Hell yeah.
You think they're gonna pay him Tyreek Hill money?
Do you see what Buffalo looks like?
Tyreek Hill money?
Hold on. Do we remember what Josh Allen was like without Stephon Diggs?
Okay, Tyreek Hill money. I want more than Tyreek Hill.
Bro, at that point, if the Bills are a championship contending team, yes, they're gonna pay to keep Stephon Diggs.
And also, you got to think with TV deals and the salary cap growing, you're growing.
You got to pay defensive players too. You got a lot. You can't just. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just Stephon Diggs might be gone. And my fortune telling me Stephon Diggs will be traded. Debo Samuel will be gone. I don't know where. Maybe to Dallas. We don't know
Sign
where.
me up. I'm there.
These guys will be going.
I'm buying in.
Justin Jefferson might. I hope he's in Vegas, but he might still be in Minnesota. Sadly.
I wonder why you want to.
That's my favorite receiver, bro. I love me some Justin Jefferson. My
You
favorite
have
receiver
the
in league.
best receiver.
Hey,
in the
I'm
league
like
on
you.
your
I'm getting
team.
greedy. I'm like y'all Cowboy fan. I want to be greedy.
Okay.
I want it all.
Yeah, we,
Nah, we do.
we don't even have that.
We do have the best shoe of the game. He been enjoying himself too. I know y'all been seeing him. He be
Y'all
enjoying
got
himself.
one of the best, two of the best DNs in the
Say
league,
it.
and the best.
Say it. Speak that truth. And we still could
Get
probably
greedy.
get Stephon Gilmore might come, and we got the best running back in the division.
Best running back in the division.
Josh Jacobs better than. I mean, I know the Javonte Williams. Everyone likes him, but Josh
Javonte
Jacobs better.
Williams.
Hey, I'll take
Actually,
Austin,
Year.
I'll take Austin Eckler as my.
I'll take Jacobs.
Hold on, no. I'll say this. I'll take Austin Eckler as my fantasy running back over.
No,
Josh
I'll
Jacobs.
take Jacobs.
Hey,
Son.
that's
I
also
hate him.
we also have Key and Drake. Good back also. We have two good backs. Hey, we gonna be legit. Tony, hey, I get to check your take. What do you think about the Raiders, bro? Win division, go Super Bowl.
You know what? I'm rooting for it, especially because of Derek Carr. This is his moment. He needs.
I'm telling you, Derek Carr's gonna be emerged because people be talking about Derek Carr and all that. Derek Carr finna show he can play. He got some weapons now.
And it's not just any weapon. It's the best, and it's who he was.
And he still got Renfro. He still got Darren Waller. And it's gonna open up. Josh is gonna have a crazy year. Open up the running game. I know this ain't a Vegas. We're not talking about the Vegas Raiders right now. But
And all you have to do in the draft is focus on the line. That's all you have to do.
I'm so happy the Raiders are flourishing, Javon. I'm so happy for you.
it's finally all coming together, bro. Shout out to Mark Davis. Finally all coming together. New
So
stadium.
happy.
I hate that they had to leave Oakland to get it right, but hey, they got it right now, bro. It should be exciting time. Devontae Adams, it's gonna get crazy, bro. And I'm glad we got, and the fact that we got Devontae Adams for only those 2 picks this year, and we got one good contract compared to what Tyreek Hill just got, and what these future receivers finna get. Oh yeah, we good. I ain't tripping.
We
How
re-signed
you
Traquan Smith. I'm
I mean,
pretty
like I said,
satisfied
I'm
with
just
that.
saying, y'all got him. Y'all basically paid. He has the second highest paid contract.
Okay,
So
but
it
you
ain't
got
that- it ain't
Tyreek
that
Hill.
damn far
Who's
off.
okay? Is Tony? I'm gonna ask you. Alex, I'm gonna ask you too. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. How big is the gap?
Well, shit. Compared to Miami's receivers,
No,
last year,
receiver for receiver. Who's the
I'm
better
just- I'm
receiver?
saying
Okay.
compared to the receivers we had last
See,
year,
go-
I'll take any of them.
In terms of actual receiver,
Run
physicality,
routes.
like it is Devontae Adams, but
He's a more complete.
One on none.
It's the
Tyreek Hill-
who can make the big play. That's a tough. It's still a coin.
Tyreek Hill.
flip. Tyreek
Tyreek Hill. He's like, you know what he's like? He's like the Steph Curry of the NFL. You know, Steph Curry can shoot from beyond the arc and it's lethal, right? It's almost guaranteed. You don't give that up, right? Tyreek Hill's
something hard to
speed.
defend.
Tyreek Hill's speed is just something you can't
When
defend.
the
That's
ball
fine.
when the ball is in his
But
hands,
I have Kevin
it
Durant.
could be a scoring play.
I have Kevin
Yeah.
Durant though.
And it's like that's
But
that's-
but Devontae is the better overall receiver.
Yes.
he is.
But to Tyreek's credit, he's like the Curry of the
I'm
NFL.
going to say it now. We got the better receiving core. I take Hunter Renfro over Jalen Waddle.
I can't wait for the end of the year when they go like 8-9.
That's just gonna be.
I know you ain't talking. You have Taysom Hill playing tight end for y'all. I don't want to hear anything from you. Taysom Hill's playing tight end. I don't want to hear it.
Tight end one.
Huh?
Tight end one.
I pray. I'm afraid that moment happens because that would be hilarious.
You better hope Tua develops. We're gonna be talking about Tua. We're gonna be talking about Tua turn the ball over every week.
Okay.
You better hope he don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry.
I'm sure
about
Makai
it.
got a lot to say too. Shout out
I know.
Makai.
See, it's like the AFC's over there butting heads, and we're just like, hey, dude.
Well, you have no because the Cowboys dominate.
One
y'all.
of us can sign.
Hey, what else? Hey, Hey, you know what? One of us make the playoff.
We're literally
Actually, we both probably will because our conference is butt.
Literally, it's like we both had numbers. Like, are you next in line to interview Tyrann Matthew? Yeah.
AFC just so.
Hey, we both
AFC
go.
so-
We both go. Hey, good luck, man.
Okay, good luck. Yeah.
Good luck. I'm
AFC
rooting
so
for you.
stacked.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm really hoping you pull through, man.
And then there's those. The AFC's over there just tearing each other
Getting
apart.
greedy.
Yeah, bro.
Getting
Hey,
greedy.
we over here iron sharpens iron. By the time we see y'all in the Super Bowl, we already been battle tested. We battle tested over
Hey,
here.
did you
bro.
hear that? He thinks one of us will make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah,
you. Oh, my bad.
That's a good season.
If we see
It's like,
Tony,
hey, no
no. If we see Tony Super Bowl, shout out to you. We ain't gonna see y'all here. I doubt we see y'all.
Aw, that's not
Unless Jameis
nice.
Winston gonna be emerged to some stud.
I'm telling you, Taysom tied in one. Ken, how we do? Do we have time for a Dre and J? Okay, all right. Kick it to you guys over there. What do you guys got on Dre and J?
Shit, what is there to talk about? New episode of the first episode of Moon Knight dropped last night.
Fire episode.
Or the other night.
Fire
great.
episode.
I thought it was good. I mean, compared to every other Marvel Disney Plus show, I think it definitely had the strongest first episode, in my opinion. I like it.
Oscar Isaac killed it.
Oscar Isaac, yeah, amazing performance by Oscar Isaac.
I think it plays to the fact that this is a new character. We haven't had a new character on the TV series. Usually somebody we already know of, just adding onto their story. This is the first time we get a new character. It was like Oscar Isaac showed off. He can act.
Yeah.
This character. Now, it wasn't that dark for the first. It was kind of some dark moments though, but it kind of reminded me of Fight Club, which I liked. It was like a mental thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But overall, man, the suit looked good when we solved it. Definitely recommend it. I think I heard episode 2 is better than episode 1. So if you like episode 1, I think you'll like episode 2. But so far, man, it's gonna be fun. Looks different than anything we've seen in MCU.
One thing I actually really like about it is the fact that there was not really any outside Marvel
connections
and references.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that. Like I this is its own story. I'm fine if they want to tie something in later on. Like, sure, maybe the last episode tie something in or down the road.
I feel like this is the first time in an MCU project where I've not heard the blip or any like Endgame reference.
Well,
Yeah.
also, I mean, that's was the biggest event ever, though. That's why
It
I had
was.
to be mentioned. Like, think about it. Those movies take place like right afterward. No Way Home. Well, not No Way Home, but like
Far From
Homecoming.
Home, yeah.
Far From Home takes place right after. But I agree. I'm glad that they don't have no MCU tie-ins right now. It's just its own thing, which is dope. Ethan Hawke, creepy.
I like it. I was like, I like him.
Ain't no so funny about Ethan Hawke, which made me laugh. About 8 years ago, he said he would never do no superhero movie. He don't like no superhero movies. And now, you're in one.
He's in a superhero
A
series.
show,
They said,
yeah.
well, how about a series?
Made for
And he was like,
television.
Marvel.
All
Hey,
right.
He
He's
said,
so
he said,
mean.
you son
Tony,
of a
look at
bitch,
that
I'm
point.
in.
8 years later, that Marvel brand's so big, everybody wants to play a part of it.
He said
Everybody
what?
wants in.
He said what's streaming?
Yeah, I know, right?
What's Disney Plus?
But no, it's dope. I like it though. So that was cool, man. I'm excited to see Morbius.
I'm
I heard people say it's bad. I'm going into it with the mindset that this is probably something that should have came out in 2005. It has that 2005 feel to it. I'm for real, bro. I think I know people talk about like the visuals, the storyline, all that kind of stuff. I think it's gonna have like that 2005 feel to it.
What is it on Rotten Tomatoes right now? Let's
Oh, I know it's bad. I heard it's bad. I think that's why. 'Cause people,
17%.
Good
You know
lord.
why, though?
64 audience.
Yeah.
But you know why? You know why it's so low? Probably because we have seen so many superhero films now. We have a certain level of expectation when we come to see films.
Right.
I told Johnny the other day.
That
He
is
might
true.
call me
That-
crazy.
I will say this. That is true because if it's any superhero movie outside of the MCU, it's always judged heavily.
No, not even just that. We have seen a certain level of superhero. Like we see superhero in DC. But I told you, I said, look, I love Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man. If those movies were coming out right now and we have the MCU, all this other stuff going on, those movies would be cool, but they wouldn't be talked about the way they are. The reason why they talk about the way they are is because they were during a time when we didn't have superhero movies like that.
You didn't say that. You said
That is what I
you
said.
said they wouldn't be good.
I said to people that they'd be like this to people. They would not like this, but they'd probably be lower rate. People would be like, oh, I love those movies. Like we talk about because we grew up on those during a time when we didn't have them.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is an instant classic.
If you saw Tobey Maguire Spider-Man now,
any era would have been good for.
no,
this
if you
Spider-Man.
released that now, people would be like,
It was
it's
good.
MCU. It's
It
not
was-
but if you released it, it was good because we didn't have it. It's like X-Men, the first X-Men movie, X2. They're great because we didn't have superheroes.
Javante has a point on this one.
It's good. No, hear me out on this because it's good. Why does Tobey Maguire Spider-Man really good? Because one, it sticks to the original comic book source. It literally is taking inspiration from straight up Spider-Man comics. Unlike we've seen some of the
But Jack,
MCU
we're talking about
Spider-Man.
people that watch these movies. The people who've seen these movies are people that are just casual. They're not reading the comics. These people are just off hype alone. This movie's gonna do bad because off hype, people already talking so bad about it. It's not gonna be, people are like, oh, I'm good on it. I'll pass on it. No MCU connection? I'll pass on it. the MCU has such a brand. If you put Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man with Sony in this time, it may do okay. It will not do what the MCU does. It will be like, oh, okay, it's cool, but let's keep moving.
It was made for the 2000s.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's my thing where I judge fans sometimes because I'm like, are you a Marvel fan or are you just an MCU fan?
MCU fan. I'm gonna tell you what they are. MCU fans. MCU has let's be honest, bro. It's MCU. It's hyped up people now. People that don't even watch this stuff will go see these movies just because of hype. Alone. Avengers Infinity War, I saw people there asking all kinds. I was getting upset. I was like, I had that Arthur closed fist. I saw people asking all kinds of questions. Who's that? Who's this? Who's that red guy?
I know.
So let's just.
I mean, we look at it. What Captain Marvel made $1 billion at the box office. The Batman right now is at 600.
Yeah, you don't hit $1 billion.
So
that brand.
I mean, of course, it's hype. It's not based on. Nowadays, it's not based on whether the movie is actually good. It's based on hype.
Martin Scorsese. Okay, I gotta hear you now. This is you said all them people that be like, yeah, those aren't really films. They're not really they're not great films. They're just they're like popcorn.
Well, compared to any MCU movie, I think the Batman is better. One of the best comic book movies. So
okay, that's fine. That's one of your favorite comic books. That's fine. But you can't tell me you don't enjoy the MCU films.
I enjoy them, but if you ask me which one, if you ask me what is the best comic book movie,
you are not gonna tell. Okay,
I will say the Batman is better than most MCU films.
Say we go back 2017 to 2018. Infinity War's gonna come out. You saw the trailer for Infinity War. You saw the trailer for Batman. Which one you gotta go see in the theater? You going to see one for 3? You won't be able to see the next one for another 3 years. Which one you want to see?
At that moment,
yes.
Infinity War.
Well, if I watch, because if I was watching all Marvel like the MCU before,
but it's Batman,
and if I was watching all of the MCU before, I would probably be interested in watching Infinity War because it's like, seeing all these characters that I've seen from the solo movies all build up into this movie.
All right, here.
But at the end of the day, if I watch both those movies, I will be honest and say the Batman is the better comic book movie.
All I'm gonna say is the Batman's a great movie. I'm not knocking it. The Batman's more of a storytelling movie. It's cool. Matt Reeves did his thing. But as far as these people, not the comic book fans, the average viewer, the MCU is home. That's where it's at. The MCU has such a brand now, bro. As soon as people see that Marvel trailer,
safe. They know it's safe.
They know. I know what I'm getting. I'm ready to go see it. The Batman's cool, but they ain't got the brand. Warner Bros. Don't have that. They should have that brand because Warner Bros. They don't have that kind of a brand like the MCU.
Yeah, does. I agree with you. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's the truth. That's how it is nowadays.
Not nowadays, always be like that, bro. We gave Star Wars 2014 love because we said, Star Wars? You can't mess this up. We were wrong. But we gave it love. We said, Star Wars, I'm not gonna lie, still to this day, if I see Star Wars in the movie theater, I'll be there. Sadly, I'll be there, though. Even if it's bad, I'll probably be there, go see it at least once. Yeah. It's a brand. Just like the Batman.
That's
the Batman
fair.
sells regardless of who it is because the Batman.
Yeah.
Don't Yantru's ass today.
Also, the Riddler was goofy in this movie.
Huh?
The Riddler was kind of goofy in this movie.
Did you like the look of the Riddler? How'd you feel about the look? How you feel about the Joker look? Did you watch the Joker clip?
Joker's blood ugly, dude. He looks disgusting.
Do you like it?
I was telling Alec this. Once I see the makeup with the green hair, maybe it'll look cool. But right now, I'm like,
little patches.
I just want
no hair, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let him grow his hair out a little bit more. Get some green in there. He doesn't need to have long hair. He just needs to have some more hair. Have it green. Make him look pasty. I think it'll be cool.
I think he needs a little bit more bleach to him. I get you're doing something that's like Matt Reeves doing his whole thing, but he needs a little more bleach to him, I think. He reminds me of the Leprechaun. I don't even watch the Leprechaun movie, the horror movie.
Yeah.
That's what he remind me of, bro, with the hair all missed. I'm like, bro, this ain't the Joker, bro. Come on now. The Joker got no hair.
I get it. He is grotesque. He is disgusting.
He's scary looking. I agree. He does look scary, but it's like, that's the Joker, bro? Like, damn.
I mean, everybody has their different takes. Every
For
director
sure.
has his different takes on how he wants his characters to look.
For
Obviously,
sure.
Riddler was different than anything we've seen. Joker's going to be different.
The Riddler makes sense.
I mean, when we looked at when we looked at Jared Leto's Joker, that was different.
People ripped it.
When we saw
That was bad.
I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker. Originally, we never really saw a Joker with face paint. It was always the chemicals, and then they did it with Heath Ledger with just the face paint.
Approach as well, yeah, but,
That's because Harvey.
but his is more real. Yeah, that's a realistic Batman universe, though.
Yeah.
Like, this Batman universe ain't really realistic, I don't consider it.
Because Harvey, I'm not a comic book villain, Harvey. I
But the Riddler I had no
am a
problem
narcissist.
with. I had no problem with the Riddler because the Riddler's already been done in Jim Carrey's version. So you haven't really seen that many versions of the Riddler in live action.
Yeah.
So it's okay to change with him. But Joker's been done so many times.
But that's what I'm saying.
There's going to be criticism wherever you do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's been done so many times, why do I have to keep it the same?
No, I'm not saying to keep it the same.
Time?
You could change it. I just say you got to have some aspects that make him look like Joker. That's all I'm
Does
saying.
he have green hair?
He barely got any hair,
Does he have a red lips and a big smile?
He got lips. He ain't got no red lips. They lips though. He got lips.
Is his skin whiter than usual?
It didn't look that white to me. How you got the skin? The skin looked like it was like regular
looked-
skin.
it
looked like a little bit
pale,
parts.
but it wasn't like paint. Like it's not like
Yeah.
face paint.
Yeah.
That was what
I thought it should be a little bit. I want a little bit more white. Just a little bit. Ain't gotta be a whole. Just a little bit more white. I think it'd be cool.
What about the Batman suit? What'd y'all like about like
Oh, I loved it.
I hate the
the ears?
I like the ears. I still like the collar.
I'm
thing.
coming
I know people
over
like
on
the
that.
collar.
I like the collar. Yeah, the collar I actually appreciate
because it's like, oh, okay, it's standing on something, like it's got a support, like it makes sense. I don't know.
I don't like the
But-
flying suit, but I get early on.
It was, the flying suit was whatever.
You still think he's a bat?
Hey,
the ears, I don't like the placement of them for some reason. I don't know. I think it's because it's like so much head and then there's like ears. I kind of like it being on the side. Putting it a little bit more in the back, but like on the side. So not like it looks like it's like this.
I like the Batmobile. That was cool.
I like
Different. It worked for me. It was cool. But I mean, I don't have no problem with another Batmobile. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a sucker for the classic long. That's just because like
the slender
nostalgia.
one.
Yeah, but if you gotta be more.
No, I get
realistic. How the hell you turn it?
I know
with
I
that
know problem with
long-ass
Christian.
fucking
It's
car?
Batman though. Like it's Batman.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Christian Bale's either. I always like the Bat.
all the
Batmobiles.
Bat vehicles have looked good. So
Yeah.
I've never really had an issue. with it.
I like
I like the introduction of the Batmobile in this movie, especially because like,
when it came on,
like,
I was
and
like, it's done.
and
It's over.
hearing Matt
Man
Reeves
in the
talk
Dark
about
Knight.
yes,
First Batman movie.
Yes, even hearing Matt Reeves talk about it because he said that it reminded him of Christine. Like that's where he took inspiration from. Stephen King Christine movie with the crazy car that kills people.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking too when I first saw it. I was like, oh shit, this is Christine. Like the way that these Penguin and the rest of the villains were looking at it, they were like, oh shit, like I'm about to shit my pants.
It's like, well,
Yeah. Like
I'll see y'all.
hearing that engine rev up and everything. But yeah, I like the costume. It gives me I like the plating. Gives me that Arkham vibe.
that's why I was like, I really like the plating on it. Like it's super like, I don't know. It's like it's steely. Like everything looks like steel, and then like I don't know. It meshes well, with with the cape and the mask.
Yeah. I
Looks-
do wish the pants were a little better, but that's it.
That's something like I overlooked. So like, if as long as the torso and up looks cool, I'm sold. Yeah.
Pants are pants at the end of the day. Or
By the way,
pants.
what y'all think about the
All
slap?
right, we gotta get off the air, bro.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Shh.
I was gonna say
Wait,
what y'all
let me-
think about
let
the
me see.
slap heard around the world, but
Oh well.
Yeah, that one's gonna take a lot of.
That's a whole other episode to discuss that.
that's
Real
we gotta pay these bills, dude.
real quick. Bill, we could discuss that next week. We'll chop it up. I'm sure something will happen by then.
Yeah, something else will come out.
Something
and make us
will
talk.
develop
new.
with the slap situation. But that's gonna wrap things up, guys. You can watch this on YouTube, of course. Make sure you like, subscribe. I believe that's the terminology for YouTube videos, right, DeAndre?
Yep.
Javante?
Like, share,
Yes.
Realize,
subscribe.
That's what you say?
Comment down below.
Comment down below.
I forgot
Even though
the
I'm the
comments.
villain, but it's all good.
I forgot the comments. Thanks.
Yeah, comments also. Yeah,
Yeah,
comment.
the comments.
Do
are
that.
really
Talk bad
nice.
about Javante all the time.
Yeah, because he always says dumb shit on his tapes.
Shh, let him close us out.
So he knows it's true.
Make sure to. This is also available as a podcast on Spotify, Apple. You can do that there. Follow us on Instagram at Kenneth. What's our Instagram? Final Drive Show. We're on there. TikTok as well. And until then, we'll see you guys next week. It's been a great show, gentlemen. As always.
See y'all next time.
Sour Kids Productions.